All right, people. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the COVID-19, but I will be taking a complete different approach as to what you've already been hearing all over the media and from different persons. I will not be talking about any death tolls and any I wouldn't be talking much about the virus and what it can do and how to prevent it. Instead, I want to talk about some advantages, to some advantages of the virus. And I know you may sit down and say, hey, this virus has no advantages. This virus only has disadvantages. This virus only causes death and only causes heartaches. But when you think about it, everything comes with a good and a bad. And God allowed this virus to be God allowed this virus to come, and God allowed this virus to cause us problems. God allowed this virus to come into our lives for a reason. He allowed it. He didn't cause it, but He allowed it. So that alone should show you that you should start thinking differently about everything and about the situation. And hopefully that will be able to heal our hearts and, help us to think differently and help us to wise up within this situation. Help us to wise up in this situation. So here I have written down a few advantages of the COVID-19, as I would like to call it, or a few things that has been happening around the world and around me with persons which I consider to be very good regardless of the situation. And I'm just going to name them and just explain a little bit of each of them. So for the first one, we have a lot of families who has been reunited. And when I say family being reunited, I'm basically talking about broken marriages, husbands who has left their homes, left their children, wives who has disappeared and refused to show up, mothers who has abandoned their children for whatever reason. These people right now are finding themselves closer to their family. Is and much of these family thought that, hey, everything was doomed, but look, the virus is here now, we're on lockdown, we're on quarantine, and here you come. You may not see it like an advantage right now, but a lot of persons has finally gotten the answer as to why their father left or why their mother left, because that person is back now, that person is back in their life with explanations. That person can ask for forgiveness and try to make up for the times that they have really spent away from their family. And this is really great. I mean, I know a lot of persons right now who has been reunited with their fathers, wives who has gotten back their husbands who has won back their wives, and these people are really happy right now. And that alone shows you that God allowed things to happen so that families can be happy once again. And this is just the first tip I have. The second one, saving lives. And when I talk about saving lives, I'm not talking about saving people from the COVID-19. I'm talking about saving lives on an everyday basis. We all know what happens out there in the world. A lot of kids are being raped because they are abandoned by themselves. A lot of persons end up going to jail because they have no supervision. They have nobody there to tell them what to do. So they just go about doing whatever it is, doing drugs, and sometimes they are at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they may get shot, they may get killed, and they have children now have their mothers and their fathers around who they can talk to, who can lead them in the right direction. They have aunts and uncles at home, so they're no longer alone and are scared with this one family member who always acts suspicious. And in my country, for the past time, a lot of children has gotten burnt, and they've gotten burnt with they've gotten burnt either with fire, either by trying to light the stove, or because they were at their home by themselves. And with this current situation where we're all on quarantine, there is no situation whereby a child should be or would be left alone without a parent in the house. I mean, I know the world is not going to change in one day, but what I'm saying is there is definitely an improvement. You know, children are now supervised. There's no child fighting to light a match because their mother wanted to go partying. There is no reason to go partying right now. And for the persons who are still disobeying the law, then I pray that you know, do the right thing by your children and do the right thing for your life. So right now, I mean, there are so many kids who has their parents present, so many babies who has always been left with a smaller older sibling, and the older sibling is not even old enough to take care of themselves. So these two babies are just left at home, you know, with no guidance, no protectant, no protection, no food. And in this current situation, I know that these things are going to really go down, because there isn't a reason for us to be on the street. Thirdly, I want to talk about this one, which is this one is the most important one, but I left it for third because I wanted persons to focus mainly on it. I didn't want to leave it for last, so by the time I'm finished speaking, you do not have time for it. And I'm talking about persons getting closer to Jehovah God, and I don't mean closer as praying every day. I mean spiritually having a relationship with Jehovah God and his son Jesus. I mean, getting baptized, changing their lives, you know, fasting and praying and really meaning what they pray about, you know, really taking the time off to thank God for having them, you know, live for such a long time, a healthy life. Sometimes you're in pain, but the fact is you're still here. There are certain persons on this earth who has been wiped out for very stupid reasons, and here we are today. So we have to thank God so for everything that he's done for us. We in Grenada right here, we are so fortunate. I was looking at the news from persons about the persons in India who had to leave their homes, you know, put their lives at risk just because they didn't have any food. So it's either the hunger gets them first or the COVID-19 gets them first. And we are in situations whereby we have food, or even if we do not have food, we have neighbors who can help us. We have persons who, you know, can we have persons who sees our situation, you know, persons next door we can ask, or you see someone around who doesn't have enough that you can share with. And we are extremely fortunate, and I just think that we should, you know, give all the praise to Jehovah God, and we should really reverence him, and we should really try to build a relationship with this man, because without him nothing will ever be right. Nothing will ever be, you know, just. Without God, more persons, a lot of persons would have died, more persons than this, because of the constant prayers that the nation, the church has been praying, you know, rebuking this virus. That is the reason why everything, you know, is balancing out itself in nature. And then I understand completely that we have lost a lot, but we have also gained a lot in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world. During this pandemic, I'm very sure that so many lives has been changed spiritually. So much persons has changed their life and opened up their hearts to Jesus. So many families right now are praying together. So many families right now are studying the word of God together, which is so great and so impressive, because there are certain families, it's easy to talk about partying, easy to talk about boys, and when it's time to pray and to reverence God, it is just a topic that we haven't touched. And I'm sure that each and every one of the countries in every nation right now are looking to touch, you know, on this topic someday or the other, which is really awesome. So I just wanted to take the time off to let you guys realize that this is something great. Number 4. Well, it's obvious we have less crimes, and I do have data and facts to prove that. Here in Grenada, it's very peaceful, so we have crime like very we don't have it much, but we do have neighboring countries like Trinidad and Jamaica. And right now the crime in Trinidad has really dropped because persons are so focused on social distancing. They're so focused on trying to keep themselves alive that they don't even care right now to kill somebody. They don't care to rob somebody. They don't care to have to be jealous of someone. They don't care to kidnap someone. And I'm not saying that Trinidadians are bad people. I'm just saying that things are changing drastically because of the current situation. People are realizing that they have to turn away from their bad ways. Imagine something is happening that is worse than other people killing themselves. And this is COVID-19, and persons are turning away from the guns and the knives and turning away from stealing. I mean, this is a really great thing so that persons can hopefully change their life and their mind frame when it comes to others and value others' lives on this earth and know that we are not responsible. We didn't give life and we shouldn't take life. So that is why we should value life and we should love others and we should care for them. And I mean, crime going down is one of the greatest things I have ever heard, and I'm so happy for my neighboring countries. I'm also happy for my country, and I hope that we continue to dwell with peace, we continue to be each other's keeper, and we continue to help each other to get through this pandemic. Like I said, we have a lessening on crimes, which means that there are less businesses that are being robbed right now. Less persons have to be worried about, persons coming into their places because we're on quarantine and the police officers are doing their very best to keep people off the street. There are a few stubborn persons, but for the most part, businesses are really safe. So that is a really great advantage. Right now, people are so focused on staying healthy and staying alive that they're not really doing drugs, they're not really smoking, they're not really, doing certain things that they would have been doing right now. Because imagine if all the countries would have been opened right now, do you know how many drugs would have been going in and out of countries right now? And I mean, all this had to stop due to this pandemic. So this is a really great thing right now. Another kid would have been, drugged or raped or killed due to an overdose in some other country or even here in Grenada. But because of the current situation, there is no way for these things to get in and out of the country. So that means another life has been saved. We have to look at the positive in everything that happens. I know it is something that is causing a lot of deaths, but at the end of the day, it is saving a lot of innocent lives. For the parents, like army parents and parents who probably are single parents who have like mortgages and who are working really hard to send their kids to a proper school, to make sure that they go to university and college, make sure that they have food on their on in their bellies and clothes on their back, because I do understand that the economy can really pressure you. There are times when you're living in a situation or in a country where the currency that you get when you work for it is like everything is just gone. Your paycheck is just finished in one day, so you have to do 3 and 4 jobs. And by doing 3 and 4 jobs, sometimes you never get the chance to really grow with your child, to build a relationship and a bond with your child, to listen to your child, to help them when they need you. And that can cause a lot of children to fall into the arms of the enemy, fall in love with men because they're searching for the love of their father. They're looking for an example in their mother, and they end up going around girls who are experienced with a lot of bad things, and that can cause them to probably step into prostitution, step into gangs, step into drinking, step into disrespecting. They're always causing problems in the school, and you wonder why. It's simply because that child needs you. That child needs to hear what you have to say. That child wanted to just have a conversation with you, probably about someone who has been bullying her in school. She just wanted you to tell her that she's beautiful. He just wanted you to know that you're proud of him. He just wanted you to teach him how to plant some crops in the garden, and you guys have never had time together. And sometimes he's always with this uncle always with his friend's father, and he is not a good example, or maybe he just doesn't take the time to show him things that he does with his son. And so many things can happen during these times when we are not around as parents. That is the reason why, now that we're home with our kids, we have to make the best of it. We have to make up for all the lost times that has already been lost. We also have to take the time off to teach them how to grow, teach them how to be good, teach them how to be good men and women. Tell them that we love them, listen to them, which is most importantly, have a great bond so that they can come to you and talk to you about anything, rather than going to their principal or the friend, or the priest or the pastor. They can just come to you and say, Dad, I want to talk. Mom, I want to talk. These are the things right now we have to focus on during these times, because we have the opportunity to make a difference in our lives and in our children's lives. And another one I want to talk about is being appreciative to teachers, principals, health workers, and people who really, put their lives on the line every time, especially for us and our kids. And I want to specify and talk about teachers. Being a teacher is extremely hard, and I really want to shout out to all the teachers in the nation right now and let you all know that we really do appreciate everything that you're doing. We appreciate all the times you left your family and you came out every Saturday, gave our kids lessons. You stayed back after school, you gave our kids lessons. When they did not have break and lunch, you made sure that you fed them from your own pocket, even when your salary wasn't enough for you and your family. We appreciate your patience with them. We appreciate everything that you do for them to make sure that they make it in life, because I am telling you, I have 2 kids and I have really been trying to follow the daily schedule. Imagine, the teachers are preparing the work and sending it for us, right? So it's not difficult. We know what we have to give them, but sitting down and taking the time and having the patience with that child every single day, and making sure that they understand what is it they have to do, and listening to them when they're whining and they don't want to do it. I mean, sometimes I wonder if I'm going to lose my mind, because this thing is not easy. This thing is one of the most technical and hardest things that this is one of the most complicated jobs out there, and we have to definitely appreciate teachers for everything that they do. Because I myself, there are days I wake up and I said, all right, today is lesson day. But every day, imagine, they've been doing lesson day every day, because they do it from Monday to Friday. They teach, they do after school teaching, then on Saturdays and on Sundays they still have to prepare work for the next week or so. So it's like an ongoing thing for them. They never really have a rest. And I really wanted to take a rest. I just wanted to, I was so happy to dress my children, give them lunch and break, and just send them to school. But at the end of the day, I wasn't thinking about, how that teacher had to take her time, had patience with him, listen to all the things that he said, look at all his trickery, help him to be a good person, all these things that some of us parents fail to do. Because some of us parents, we leave everything for the teacher to do. We do not do homework, we do not ask the child how they've been doing, we do not teach them respect, we do not teach them anything, and everything has to be taught by the teacher, which is very forceful. We have to applaud these people, and we also have to take up from where they left off. When they give the children homework, we're supposed to make sure that the children gets it done. Make sure that we do a weekly review with the kids to make sure that they are on par, and they are at the same level with the teacher, so that she doesn't have to go back just because 2 or 3 children did not do their homework, or 2 or 3 children did not review, 2 or 3 children did not get their parents to assist them. So they're falling back, and then the whole class has to stay back. So we have to think about all these things. And right now we have a chance to build the best relationship with our children, to teach those of them who are sort of slow, or the children who children learn differently. Some children learn practical, some children learn theory, some children learn through music, through dance. You have to figure out what is best for your child, and try to teach your child and try to build that relationship with your child and make sure that they are not left behind, and I just want to say we need to really appreciate those teachers. And right now, I mean, I really miss, I miss school, and I appreciate the fact that while I was young, I was able to go to school without much problems, you know, unless probably I didn't have food or something to eat. But this is a pandemic, something really crucial, and the kids are actually home, and I mean, it's devastating because sometimes it's so frustrating. You don't know what to do with them. You can't keep them in the house, you can't keep them out of the house. It's always noisy, and we want to get rid of those kids. And I'm not saying we don't love our kids, but sometimes we don't want to take it on. We want to pelt it on someone else. And then when that person takes up the mantle and that person starts disciplining that child, we're ready to run into the school and argue and cuss, which is not right. We're supposed to sit down and thank these people, have a conversation with them and let them know, hey, I didn't, feel too well about what you did, and those sort of things, and start to appreciate them. So this is just one of the advantages, you know. The other advantage, a healthy life is a better life. That is what I will say to you. Like I said, a healthy life is a better choice. Is either you eat healthy and you have a better chance of surviving this, pandemic, and facing this COVID-19, or you go ahead and continue to eat unhealthy, eat your fast food, drink all your Busta, and a lot of things that weakens your immune system, that causes you to have to be weak, and not be able to fight any disease. And I'm just not just talking about COVID-19. I'm talking about any disease that is affecting you right now in your body. You have to eat healthy in order to beat these type of things, So it's either you eat healthy and you have a chance to live a longer, healthier life, or you eat anyhow and you get sick and you die. You choose what is best for you. Okay, and right now we do have an advantage whereby everybody right now is advising us to eat fruits and vegetables, use vitamin C, eat healthy, drink water, make sure our throat is not dry, which means we're not dehydrated, which means we will not get sick, which means we will not affect our brain. And these are things that we are supposed to be doing on a daily basis. But hey, some people forget to do these things. Some people forget to take care of themselves. They just focus on the outside appearance, and the inside appearance is dying. The inside of our body is dying. And now we have the whole world advising us on a daily basis to eat healthy. Remember to eat healthy. Remember to take your vitamins. Remember, to do this. Remember to do that. Remember to drink water. What else do we want? That is an advantage. So finally, persons can know, for the persons who has grown up on fast food and on pizza and all these things, and who really didn't know what healthy food is, now you have an opportunity to find out what is good for your body and what is not good for your body. Well, another advantage is for the persons who hate being cleanly. Now you will understand that being cleanly and clean is not a choice. It is necessary for your health, for a good life. It is necessary, to when you go around person, you have proper hygiene. People will feel happy to be around you because you smell great, you look great, you look clean, you're presentable. But some persons used to, figure out, hey, I can choose to be clean today. I can choose to wash my hands today, or I can forget to wash my hands. It's my choice. No, it's not your choice. It is a way of life. It is a healthy way of life, a healthy practice. Every time you use the washroom, you know to wash your hands. You know to clean your hands. Every time you're sneezing, you're coughing, you know to cover your mouth. Even if it's not the COVID you're spreading, but you can't spread fluids. You can also, cause mucus to reach other people's faces, which can be very disgusting. So you also have to think about these things, you know. And I'm really happy right now, like I said, like I said about the fruits, everybody is pushing living clean and living healthy and washing your hands and disinfecting your house, because some people don't know when last they mop their house properly with some bleach, or when last they clean down, you know, their doors, or when last they clean down things that they use on a daily basis. And I just have a few more. Persons will learn to appreciate each other more, because there are a few mothers and a few fathers, a few people in people's lives who are always doing things, you know, for them. But these people are always being ill-treated. And they finally because they realize that they can lose those people, they're just starting to realize that they're important, so they're starting to appreciate them, which is good. But you do not want to wait until something bad happens to appreciate somebody who has always been there for you. You want to always remember to do that on a daily basis. And another thing that is happening, countries are coming together as one. Countries are coming together as one to help each other. You're not hearing about wars. You're not hearing about, hey, I want to get rid of Russia, I want to get rid of that country. Everybody is trying to do whatever they can to help each other to overcome this pandemic, which is really great. So we're having like worldwide unity. So I mean, that is really good. I see on the news every day, you know, China and different countries coming together who has always been, you know, having this problem, these little problems, and now they're coming together to help each other, which is really great. So I mean, this is really an advantage altogether. We also have a lot of prayers and fasting from the church, which is really great. Persons are taking the time off to really, you know, kneel to God and to ask him and to thank him for the things that he has been doing in their lives, which is wonderful and great. Like I said, the same way babies need their milk from their mom to grow, that's the same way we need to pray. We need to read our Bible to grow from a baby Christian to a very strong Christian. So we also have to take the time off to love God and to pray to him and to let him know that we value him, and we want to thank him for everything he does for us throughout this whole epidemic and throughout our lives, because he's the reason we are alive. He is the reason we have second chances. He is always there for us. All we have to do is just accept him. And I hope that the whole nation goes into prayers, and not just because of this virus, not to ensure that the virus goes away, but I hope that after this thing has passed, we will continue to acknowledge God and to praise his name. And lastly, people who family members who has not connected in such a long time, they're finally reuniting to show love and to show care and to say sorry and ask for forgiveness, which is really great. That's important. So at the end of the day, there are so many other things right out there, you know, that can be looked at as advantages, but these are just the main ones that I wanted to talk about. So leave some information in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let's not be negative about this. Let's just do the right thing, isolate, you know, stay indoors and try our best to take care of each other. And I hope that this little chat, this little information will really help you to feel better, to feel stronger, to feel like you have hope, because we do have hope. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit on the notification bell, leave a like, and also share this video to as many persons as possible, so that we can keep the faith, so that we all can motivate each other to get through this pandemic. Until next time, I will see you. Bye bye.